for plant response to stimuli. In this chapter, we gonna learn on the type of response in plants. Okay, at the end of the topic, you should be able to understand the plant response in taxis movement. Taxis referring to any stimulus. Okay, and the second is plant response in nestic movement. Okay, plant tropism in reaction to different stimuli, the plant photomorphogenesis, the plant photoperiodism and flowering, and the last is plant's response to environmental stress. Okay, for introduction, plants being rooted to the ground, so it must respond to whatever environmental change that comes their way. For example, the bending of a grass seedling towards the light, so that is one response. So this process begins with the plant sensing the direction and plant sensing the quantity of light and also the color of the light. Okay, these are examples of the plant stimulus. Okay, so we go roughly on taxis movement. What is taxis movement? Taxis movement is transfer movement of all part of plant. So the whole plant will react to the stimulus. There are several kinds of taxis movement, which is the phototaxis, meaning it uses the light. The stimulus is light. And the chemotaxis, the stimulus is any chemical substance, can be hormone, okay, can be other organic material. Phototaxis is the taxis movement that is caused by the light. Phototaxis has been reported in bacteria, blue-green algae. Blue-green algae is cyanobacteria, diatoms, desmid, and many flagellates. All of these are invertebrates. And the movement of chlorophyll to surface or near the surface of the leaf to get light. And the chemotaxis is the taxis movement that is caused by the chemical substance stimulus. For example, the movement of spermatozoid of moss and fern to ovum that is found in Archegonium, attracted to the sugar or protein that is produced by Archegonium. Okay, so spermatozoid is the sperms, the male gametophyte, and the Archegonium is the egg, the female gametophyte in ferns or in mosses. Okay, moss and ferns are types of plant. Okay, later you will learn these two type of plant in Bio 320. Okay, so normally sperm will look for eggs. Okay, that is a norm. Okay. So in order to attract that sperm, this Archegonium, they will have or they will produce a sugar or protein, which are chemical substance that will attract this sperm, so that the sperm will go to the Archegonium according to the presence of the chemical substance. So that is one of the chemotaxis. Okay, now we go into nestic movement, which is the movement of plant organ. Okay, so this is referring to plant organ in response to external stimuli that is independent of the direction of the stimuli. Okay, if we compare with the chemotaxis and phototaxis, it is involved the movement of the whole part. But for nestic movement, it is the movement of plant organ, maybe certain plant organ. For example, maybe just involve the leaf or maybe just involve the stem. Okay. And this reaction not regulated by hormones, and it is temporary and reversible. So normally it involves flowers and leaf. Okay, example photonasty and thermonasty. From the photo means it include or it must involve the stimulus from the light. Thermonasty meaning it must involve the interfere of the term. Thermo means heat. Okay. So now we go into photonasty. What is photonasty? Nastic movement towards or away from the stimuli or other rapid plant movement. So for example here, it gave Oxalis triangulis. So this is a species name. So actually it must be written in italic, or we just underline, okay, the name of the species. Oxalis triangularis, also known as the love plant or purple shamrock. It goes to sleep every night, okay, meaning it needs light to bloom, okay. When there is no light, okay, for example in the night, they will go to sleep. The leaves are light sensitive and fall away as the light level drop towards the end of a day. So this is one example of photonasty. If the question asks give example, you can give any plant that you know, okay. Please give their full specific name. For example, in your lecture notes, it states Oxalis triangularis. You may give other example that you know, okay. The example of photonasty movement. And we go into thermonasty, okay. Crocuses open their flower as temperature rise and close them when the mercury falls, sometimes repeating the action several times during the day. So it can be happen several times during the day. The tendency is known as thermonasty, a trait they share with tulips. Okay, a closed flower will protect the precious pollen within from snow and rain. So that is the importance, okay, or the benefit of thermonasty. It can protect the precious pollen within from the snow and rain, and conserving it until warmer weather brings out more bees and other pollinators. Okay, so that is the importance or the benefit of thermonasty for certain types of plant. Now we go into tropism. Okay, tropism is referring to any growth response that results in curvature of whole plant organs. Curvature means curve, the curving, either towards or away from the stimulus. So this is often caused by the hormones, okay, and the growth towards a stimulus we call as positive tropism. Meanwhile, the growth away from the stimulus we call it is a negative tropism. Tropism are named for the stimulus that cause the response. For example, the tropism is caused by light. We call phototropism. Okay, now we go into phototropism, the movement of part of a plant in response to light. Charles Darwin and his son Francis, they conducted some of the earliest experiments on phototropism, which is a plant's response to light in the late 19th century. Okay, in phototropism, let's see the experiment that has been conducted. There are two experiments here from Darwin and his son in 1880 and Boysen-Jensen 1913. Okay, so the results show the control, okay, meaning there is no treatment has been applied. And for the Darwin experiment, okay, there are 4 variants. The first is the tip removed, okay, and the second is the tip covered by opaque cap, meaning there is no entry of light here. And the third, the tip covered by transparent cap, so there is light entrance. And the last is base, okay, the base is covered by opaque shield, meaning no light can enter at the base part. Okay, so and we go into the second experiment in Boysen-Jensen. What they do is the tip separated by gelatin block. This is the first variant. And the second is the tip separated by mica. Mica is a type of sand, okay. So there are only 2 variants here. So the conclusion, in the Darwin's experiment, a phototropic response occurred only when light could reach the tip of coleoptile. If you can see here, when the coleoptile is exposed to the light, the stem is bending towards the light, okay, it moves towards the light. Okay, for Boysen-Jensen observed that phototropic response occurred if the tip was separated by a permeable barrier. Permeable barrier, which is gelatin, but not if separated by an impermeable solid barrier, which is mica. Meaning the coleoptile here, when it's separated by a permeable mean they admit the entrance of materials so the stem elongate or bending towards the light. But when the collector is separated by an impermeable, meaning no admission of chemical substance, so the collectile doesn't bending towards the light. So there are two results here from the Darwin and also from the Boyson and Jensen. Now we go into the second tropism, geotropism. Geo referring to the gravity. So the movement of part of plant in response to the Earth's gravity. The shoot and the collectiles normally they are negative geotropism because they are developed towards upward, okay, which is against the gravity. Meanwhile, the roots they will develop or grow toward the gravity. That is called positive geotropism. So auxin also play a major role in gravitropic responses. Okay, later you will learn how auxin help in geotropism. Okay, previously we just learned that auxin promote elongation, okay, of the shoot and root. Okay, plant may detect gravity by the settling of statolith. Statolith is a specialized plastic containing dense starch grains. Okay, so this is the structure of the statolith in the plant cell. So this is a plant cell because they have cell wall. Okay, so this is statolith. Okay, it is specialized plastic which contains starch grain. Okay, to lower the portion of cells. It trigger a change in the distribution of hormone auxin. Okay, it involved in the distribution of the auxin. High concentration of auxin on the lower side of the zone of elongation inhibit cell elongation, slowing growth on that side and curving the root downward. Okay, so this is how the auxin play a role, okay, in curving the root downward. Okay, and it relates to the geotropism. Okay, that's why root is considered as positive geotropism with the help of auxin. Okay, how auxin help? You refer this point. Alright. So now we go into thigmotropism, the movement of a part of plant in response to solid surface touch. When the plant touch something solid, they will go towards it. Okay. Thigmomorphogenesis. Okay, the term thigmomorphogenesis it refers to the changes in form that result from mechanical perturbation. So, for example, we're rubbing the stem of young plants a couple of times daily. So, the results will show that plants are shorter compared to the control plants. So, when we're rubbing the stem, it can cause the plant become shorter. Okay, the development is retarded. Okay, so that is the effects of the thigmo. Okay, thigmo. And then later it will result in the morphogenesis. Morphogenesis is from the word morphology. Morphology means the physical appearance. Okay. Now we go into chemotropism, which is response to chemicals. So what you have to know, the chemotropism is the plant response towards chemical. For example, phototropism is the plant response towards the light. Geotropism is the plant response towards the gravity. And we also have hydrotropism and also aerotropism.